Nobody told me 2023 Nintendo was going to go so hard this year, especially after the reports and the rumors and the chirping of Nintendo's not going to have any major games after Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin 4. It's not that quite big of a game, but it's not really major like Mario and Zelda or Smash. But Nintendo said, oh no, we've got some stuff, and we've got some big stuff even stretching into 2024. But before we get into any of this, guys, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos as soon as they drop. And also make sure you check out our live streams pretty much daily right here on PlayerEssence at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We would love to have more of you guys come out to the stream. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff when it comes to podcasts, discussions, topics, and more, and we'd love for you to come and join in. But the biggest thing about Nintendo Directs, what makes them so special, whether you like them or you don't like them or you like what was shown or not, is that everything for the most part is paced very fast and brief, and then everything's kind of that year. You get release dates that year for everything for the most part. Now, there were some 2024 games, which we will get into, and I have some sneaking suspicions, which we've got to talk about when it comes to one game in particular. But overall, this Nintendo Direct and Nintendo in 2023 went a lot harder than what people thought they would go, especially after Tears of the Kingdom. Now, just to give you guys a refresher for those who maybe don't know or you just forgot, this was the year so far, and then we'll lay out what's happening. Now, Fire Emblem Engage started things off. That was awesome. Love that game. Metroid Prime Remastered Shadow dropped, one of the highest rated games of the year. Phenomenal remaster. Kirby also came out as well, and that game was actually better than what people thought. Now, that is Return to Dreamland Deluxe. It is a port, but there's brand new content in there as well. Next up, Bayonetta, Cereza, and the Lost Demon, which was a surprise to many and has over an 80 average on Metacritic. So it actually ended up being a pretty good game. After that, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, the much delayed game that should have been out like a year or so ago, but at the same time, it's still really good. It's got online play and people are picking it up and happy with it. After that, obviously we have the megaton for the year, and that is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that people are still buying, still going crazy over. And let me tell you guys something right now at this point. Nintendo's going to announce a crazy number for that game at their investors meeting coming up. Like, for real, look out for that one. A lot of people were sleeping on the sales for Tears of the Kingdom for some reason, and you are going to be shocked at what Nintendo reports, because this game is selling like crazy. Now, next up, you have Everybody Want to Switch, which, by the way, Nintendo didn't even talk about in their Direct, but after they showed off that trailer for it, it seems like it could be just silly, stupid fun for people to play, even like drinking mini games or fun with friends or family or something like that. It doesn't seem like it's a complete disaster and you're never going to enjoy anything from it. I think the smartphone integration is very smart, no pun intended, and I feel that Nintendo actually has a next-gen feature built into that game that's going to be standard on the next Switch, which is complete smartphone integration, to where you can use your smartphone to control your Nintendo Switch next-gen, or you can use it to download stuff right away. It's going to be integrated with your system. Use it as a controller if you want to for certain games. So I think Nintendo's actually testing out some next-gen features, believe it or not, with that game. Now, next up is Pikmin 4, which looks incredible, has a lot more depth built into it. Obviously, we know that game's coming out in July. Excited about that. But now here's where the new drops begin, or at least the releases that we didn't know about. Pikmin 1+2, that got shadow dropped as well. Looks like Nintendo's shadow dropping GameCube games all the time. And those are really good games. Metacritic-wise, those are some of the best games from the GameCube. And on top of that, there's a physical edition coming later in September. After that, you've got Detective Pikachu, which finally has reappeared after all of these years. That game looks like it's going to be pretty good and better than the Nintendo 3DS title. That's coming out this October, October 6th to be exact. And then here is when things get kind of crazy. Now, outside of WarioWare Move It, that game's coming out. Looks really crazy. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but I think, once again, fun with family and friends. But then on October 20th, 2023, that's when a megaton drops, and that is Super Mario Bros. wonder. We're not talking about the wonder years here. What would you do if I sang out of tune? We're talking about Mario, and my man is always in his style and in tune here because this dude, like, this is crazy. This game looks absolutely insane. And for all those people out there that are trying to say 2D Mario isn't a big deal, you guys need to stop because 2D Mario is absolutely massive. Recently, a lot of big 2D Mario games actually outsell 3D Mario games. If you look at the new Super Mario Bros. Series, that series is crazy when it comes to its sales. So for those people trying to say that, oh, well, 2D Mario isn't big, only 3D Mario and 3D Zelda is, that's factually false based off of the numbers because how big a game is based on the value of it in terms of what people buy or whatever the case is. Obviously, Zelda is a big game because a lot of people buy it. Smash Brothers, whatever the case is, right? So this is absolutely a multi-million seller. This is probably going to be 10, 20 million seller when it's all said and done. When you look at New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on the Switch, that game is sold like 20 million if you combine the Wii U and the Switch versions, and it's one of the best selling games on the Nintendo Switch as well as a port. So you guys don't think with the Mario movie hype and also with a brand new title that has a way better art style, has way better gameplay, it seems like to me, really cool new ideas, and a freaking elephant out of nowhere, you don't think that's going to be a massive seller and a big game for Nintendo in that October spot? Man, you guys are crazy if you don't think that. I'm sorry. You're just not right on that point if you have that viewpoint. Now, next up, we've got this other game that sent me into an absolute tizzy. If you have not seen my reaction to Super Mario RPG, which is coming out on November 17th this year, go check it out. Man, I was super hyped. I played Super Mario RPG like crazy back in the day. It was my game. That game was so good, or is so good. And I guess we know why we haven't seen Super Mario RPG on the NSO. Well, it's because they're doing a really cool, awesome remake of the game. And this game has it all. To me, this is the best Mario RPG game. Out of all the games that call themselves the RPG series, Mario and Luigi, Paper Mario, nothing to me, and this is not nostalgia goggles, beats Super Mario RPG. It's got spoofs, it's got crazy humor, it's got fantastic graphics, it's got great gameplay, it's got cool nods to other franchises. It is phenomenal. The gameplay is great, it's timing based. You can press the A button to get like an extra jump or an extra kick of the turtle shell weapon. There's all sorts of stuff. It's got cool, unique characters that Square Enix created, like Mallow and Gino. It is awesome. It's got a story that really takes you through some twists and turns from the beginning all the way through to the end. And looks like they've revamped the combat and made it even cleaner, showing some of the under the hood stuff right there on the display. This is going to be great. Super Mario RPG is phenomenal, and Nintendo is incredibly confident in this game because it's got the Pokemon slot. It's got the November 17th slot. So Square Enix and Nintendo are expecting a lot for this game. But I love it, love it, love it. So to me, these are major titles, especially with the Super Mario Bros. Game and also with Super Mario RPG. Don't sit here and tell me when we got those reports 2 months ago or a number of months ago that Nintendo has nothing or doesn't have anything major past Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, that they knew about Super Mario RPG and they knew about Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That's just cap in my opinion. They did not know about that. Those reports, they did not know. If they knew, they wouldn't have reported that because new 2D Mario is huge. That is a big game, especially with the Mario movie and all the different Mario games getting a massive bump across the board. So whether you like the Direct or not, Nintendo went hard this year with 13 games published by them, which is just really cool overall. Now, that doesn't even include some of the other stuff that we got from the Direct, stuff like Metal Gear Solid Collection, also Batman Arkham Trilogy, Sonic Superstars is coming as well, and other third-party games. Got some DLC for Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. So Nintendo went hard this year, man. Nintendo has went hard, and it is something that I didn't expect them to do, but it's also kind of like the impossible. I'm looking at a number of things here with Nintendo, and if you look at the history of their systems and exactly like how things are like winding up and like how things go, you don't ever see this many titles this late into the life. This is pretty much when they're wrapping things up. And don't get me wrong, they're definitely moving on to the next system. They're actually going to support both systems. We're going to get cross-gen stuff. One thing that Shuntaro Furukawa stated that they really wanted to do is have a smooth transition from the Nintendo Switch to the next system. So in my opinion, in order to have that or to get that, you definitely need to make sure that you need to give that appearance of, hey, everything's good, we've got games coming out, there's stuff, and then bam, you introduce it, and then have it to where you say, hey, you can play those games that you bought on this next system, plus we'll have new games that take advantage of the hardware, integrate your smartphone, do other things to make it better for you as the consumer, whether you're a casual or you're a core gamer. So to me, that's what they're doing. The Nintendo Switch provides them the opportunity, it gives them the funds because of the sales and everything. Everything is just set up for Nintendo to smoothly transition over from this system to the next system. But I want to talk about one game. Speaking of transitioning over to the next system, there are two things. Well, there is a Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remaster that's coming over to Nintendo Switch in 2024, but then there's also a Super Princess Peach game, or Nintendo's just calling it Princess Peach, but I'm guessing it might be called Super Princess Peach 2 or Super Princess Peach something or Princess Peach something. I would like Super Princess Peach something. I think that would be a great name, but the game looks really good. Like the graphics in that game look good. Is that the Odyssey engine? Is it something else? I'm not really sure so far, or is it something completely created for that game? Is it Unreal? I mean, we just don't know at this point, but what I do know is that the game is going to be really good. I think that based off of that footage right there, they're going to focus on quality. They're going to focus on making sure that we get an awesome Princess Peach game. Now, ultimately, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to be like game of the year or anything, but something tells me that that might be a cross-gen game. Something tells me that that could be a game that also comes over to the next system. It has enhancements. They're just talking 2024, so they're letting us know that, hey, they've got games this year and they've also got a potential big game for next year as well. So Nintendo is here. Shuntaro Furukawa is here and letting us know we're going to have that transition. Now, obviously, there's not going to be as many heavy hitters across the way that maybe you would have seen before, but at the same time, they're not going to stop dropping games when it comes down to it. The games are going to come and they're going to get third-party stuff because of the huge install base. Not going to get everything, but they're still going to get quite a number of different things like we saw with Metal Gear and Batman, Sonic Superstars, Prince of Persia early next year. There's going to be some nice drops here and there. To me, it's a nice way to continue having fantastic games first party wise and also have great third party as well. But there's no other system on the market from Microsoft, Sony, or wherever it is that drops this many quality first party games in a year. Not all hits when it comes down to it, not all massive sellers or anything, but that's not the point. But the point is that there's multiple first party games out there for people to play and consistent other type of titles as well that appeal to the fan base, like Sonic Superstars or even like Metal Gear Solid, Batman, games like that. So to me, it's really nice. And once again, I didn't know Nintendo was going to go this hard this year, but at the same time, I knew that there was going to be more stuff outside of Tears of the Kingdom. That whole narrative, you never got me on that one, which I actually did call out normally on my PE live stream saying, hey, look, like I know there's these reports out there and people are saying it, and yes, there might be a slowdown, but don't get me wrong, Nintendo's going to have some other big games. They just don't know, or they think because it's not 3D Mario or Zelda, all of a sudden there's nothing there. To me, it was a guess in order to get some traffic or in order to get some things, you know, going to the site or whatever the case is based off of the information. But those people clearly did not know about Super Mario RPG or Super Mario Bros. Wonder, in my opinion. But I also have to mention this, guys. That Nintendo Direct was missing a number of things. I felt that it could have used like a Kid Icarus, a Metroid drop, something from the core lineup of games in order to kind of fill things out just a little bit. And if it did that, I would have absolutely given the Direct or the presentation an A, but it didn't. So I kind of gave it more of a B, which some people agreed or disagreed with. but at the same time, I get it. For whatever rating you guys want to give it, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, if there was a Metroid Prime 4 reveal trailer or something like that that really got us excited, I think that would have been dope. Some type of Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3. I mean, that could still come later in the year. We still could get another Nintendo Direct because people didn't think Nintendo would do a full Direct at this point. So we could see another Nintendo Direct with stuff like that. But to me, it would have just been nice if we would have got that Kid Icarus or Metroid or Golden Sun or F-Zero drop, one of those core franchises that people have been wanting to come back with the new entry or with more of the classic games. But what do you guys think about all of this? What were you most excited from for the Direct? What are you looking forward to the most this year? What do you think that Princess Peach game is going to be? Is that going to be a next-gen game as well? Let me know in the comment section. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video.